Chosen one, do you feel it in the air? That unshakable sense that something is shifting, as if the atmosphere itself is charged with anticipation? It is not imagination. The 4th of September has already been marked in heaven. This Thursday, an unforgettable portal will open. Not a doorway you can see with your eyes, but a spiritual passage that only the awakened will perceive. In recent days, maybe you've felt strange signs, sudden waves of exhaustion, vivid dreams that linger after waking, chills that come without reason, or a pressure in your spirit that you cannot explain. These are not random. They are heaven's whispers announcing, the portal is near. This is not just opportunity. This is transformation. Those who step through will never be the same. The line between before and after will be impossible to ignore. Prepare yourself, because this Thursday, heaven is opening a way, and only the chosen will have the eyes to see it and the courage to enter. Chosen one, there are moments when heaven chooses to break through the ordinary flow of time and create something that cannot be denied. The 4th of September is one of those moments. It will not be remembered as just another Thursday, but as a prophetic marker written long before you arrived at it. On this day, an unforgettable portal opens, and for those who are awake, it will be a doorway into the fulfillment of promises you thought were delayed, prayers you thought were unanswered, and destinies you thought were too far away. What is a prophetic portal? It is a spiritual opening, a divine passage where the invisible breaks into the visible, where what was locked begins to move, where heaven's timeline accelerates in your life. A portal is not about spectacle. It is about alignment. It is heaven's way of saying, this is the moment I shift you from where you were into where you were always meant to be. This portal is not physical, yet its effects will be undeniable. For some, it will manifest as sudden clarity. Questions you carried for years will find answers in an instant. For others, it will feel like release. Chains of fear, scarcity, or guilt will dissolve as though they were never there. Still others will sense it physically. Chills during prayer, an unusual heaviness lifting off their chest, or a deep supernatural peace flooding their body. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of a portal being opened. But understand this, portals are not common. They do not open every day, and when they do, they require recognition. Many will pass through September 4th as if it were an ordinary date, blind to the shift in the atmosphere. But those who are sensitive, who have been feeling the strange signals of the last days, the vivid dreams, the restless nights, the deep awareness that something is stirring, they will see it. And seeing is the first step to entering. This Thursday will be unforgettable because it demands a choice. Portals do not drag you in. They invite you. They stand before you as open doors, but only faith decides to step through. And stepping through means leaving behind the weight of what no longer belongs. Old fears cannot cross over. Bitterness cannot come with you. Limiting beliefs cannot survive on the other side. The portal is a filter, and only what aligns with God's promise will enter. Chosen one, you have been prepared for this. Every season of waiting, every desert, every tear that fell in silence was part of the alignment that brings you to this threshold. You may have wondered why the silence lasted so long, why the breakthroughs felt delayed, why God seemed to wait. But It was all leading to this moment. The delay was not denial, it was preparation for the portal. This 4th of September is not just about receiving something new. It is about transformation. The moment you step through, you are no longer the same person. Your identity shifts. You stop defining yourself by what you lacked and begin to live from what has been released. The portal is not just opportunity, it is rebirth. So ask yourself, are you ready to enter? Are you willing to let go of what cannot cross over? To embrace a reality you have not yet seen but already feel in your spirit? This Thursday, heaven says, the passage is open. The moment is now. The portal awaits. And those who step through will never forget the day they crossed into the new. Chosen one, portals never open without signs. Heaven never shifts time and space without leaving evidence that something greater is already in motion. The 4th of September will not arrive suddenly without warning. It has been preceded by signals that, if you look closely, you will realize we're already around you. Some of these signs are subtle, others undeniable, but all point to the same truth. Heaven has already begun moving before the portal fully opens. The first sign is within your spirit. Have you noticed a sudden restlessness, as though the life you've been living can no longer contain you? Or perhaps the opposite, an unusual calm that settles deep in your heart, even when nothing external has changed? This inner tension, this paradox of discomfort and peace at the same time, is heaven pressing on you to recognize that change is near. The Spirit begins aligning your soul before your eyes ever see what is coming. Another sign appears in your body. Many chosen have been feeling unusual physical sensations, sudden waves of exhaustion, vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life, chills or heat that move through the body during prayer, even random surges of energy after days of heaviness. These are not random biological quirks. They are your body responding to the shifting of spiritual currents around you. The flesh is often the first to react when heaven is rearranging the unseen. Dreams and visions also intensify before a portal opens. Images that seem symbolic, voices that speak with unusual clarity, numbers or patterns that repeat in your waking life. All of these are heaven's way of alerting you. God does not want his chosen ones to walk blind. He leaves signs in the night and confirmations in the day so that you know the timing is not ordinary. If your dreams have been stronger, more vivid, more insistent, it is because your spirit is already standing close to the doorway. Relationships begin to shift as well. People who once took up space in your life without adding to your destiny may suddenly drift away. At the same time, you may notice new connections forming, often in unexpected ways. These relationships are not random. They are strategic alignments for the next phase you are about to enter. Portals require not just individual readiness, but the right environment. And so, heaven begins moving people in and out of your circle ahead of time. Provision and circumstances also carry the fingerprints of heaven. Maybe something you thought was lost has suddenly returned. Maybe an opportunity you didn't see coming has opened. Maybe plans you tried to force collapsed, only for something better to emerge. These are not accidents. They are heaven closing old doors and gently unlocking the right ones so that when you step through the portal, you are positioned correctly. The atmosphere itself testifies. You may have felt a heaviness in recent weeks, followed by sudden bursts of clarity as though the air around you was shifting. Some describe it as if time feels accelerated, like days are moving differently. These impressions are real. The atmosphere responds when heaven is rearranging destinies. Chosen one, these signs are not to be ignored. Many dismiss them as coincidences, emotions, or simply fatigue. But to those who are awake, they are confirmation. The portal is already forming. The threshold is near. The 4th of September will not catch you by surprise if you've been paying attention. Every restless night, every unusual dream, every sudden change in relationships or circumstances, all of them have been whispers from heaven, announcing what is about to unfold. So ask yourself now, have you noticed the signs? Have you allowed yourself to see beyond the natural explanations? Have you stopped long enough to listen to what your spirit already knows? Because heaven is already moving, and those who recognize it will be ready when the portal opens. This Thursday will be unforgettable, not only because the portal itself appears, but because many of you will look back and realize the signs were there all along. Heaven was speaking. I was being prepared. Chosen one, when a prophetic portal opens, it does not drag you through it. It stands as an invitation, a door flung wide by heaven. But the choice to enter is yours. The 4th of September will not simply be about recognizing the moment, it will be about deciding whether you will cross or remain standing outside. And the greatest danger is not that the portal won't open, but that resistance within you will keep you from stepping forward. That is why preparation matters. Resistance often begins in the heart. Unforgiveness, bitterness, regret, shame. These are weights that cling to the soul and keep it tethered to the past. A heart carrying heavy stones cannot pass through a doorway made for lightness. That is why God has been urging you in recent days to release what no longer belongs to you. The people who hurt you, the memories that bind you, the guilt that whispers in your ear, these cannot follow you through. If you try to carry them, you will feel stuck at the threshold. Preparing your heart means surrendering them, trusting that God Himself is handling what you cannot. Resistance also hides in the mind. It shows up as overthinking, doubting, rationalizing every sign away. You may have already caught yourself saying, maybe I'm imagining this, maybe it's just coincidence, maybe nothing is really happening. These are the voices of resistance. They attempt to close the portal in your perception by convincing you that the spiritual is not real. Preparing to cross means choosing faith over logic, not rejecting your reason, but refusing to let reason override revelation. The mind must be aligned with the truth that what God opens cannot be denied. Your body, too, is part of this preparation. Notice how it has been responding lately. Exhaustion demanding you to rest, unusual energy pulsing through you, even sudden emotions rising up. The body is not your enemy here. It is signaling alignment. Instead of resisting those sensations, honor them. Rest when rest is needed. Breathe deeply when peace washes over you. Allow yourself to weep when tears come without explanation. Your body is part of the crossing. It is the temple God chose to carry His Spirit, and it will bear witness to the shift. But perhaps the greatest preparation is creating space. Many will miss the portal because their lives are too crowded, with noise, with endless activity, with distractions that choke out the whispers of heaven. If you want to cross without resistance, create room. Carve out silence. Guard your atmosphere. Set aside time to pray, to listen, to simply be still. Portals are recognized not in chaos, but in sensitivity. And do not mistake resistance for delay. The portal is opening whether you are ready or not. But how you experience it, whether you cross with ease or struggle at the threshold, will depend on your preparation. A heart uncluttered, a mind aligned, a body honored, and an atmosphere protected. This is the vessel that crosses easily. So I ask you, what are you still holding that cannot go with you? What thought patterns? What emotional weights? What distractions must be laid down before Thursday? Heaven is not asking for perfection, only for openness. A willing spirit is stronger than a flawless plan. The 4th of September will be unforgettable not simply because a portal opens, but because some will step through with freedom, while others hesitate. And the difference will not be in the portal itself, but in the readiness of the one standing before it. Chosen one, prepare now. Do not wait until the last moment. Lay aside the resistance today so that when Thursday comes, you do not hesitate at the door, but walk boldly into the new reality prepared for you. Why many fail to see the opening. Chosen one, every time heaven opens a portal, the atmosphere changes. The signs multiply. The invitation becomes clear. And yet, not everyone perceives it. The 4th of September will be an unforgettable day, but many will move through it blind, unaware of the doorway standing before them. Why? Because the ability to recognize a portal is not found in the eyes of the body, but in the sensitivity of the spirit. Let us uncover the reasons why so many fail to see the opening. The first reason is distraction. The world is loud, full of constant noise, endless demands, and a flood of voices competing for your attention. People spend so much time scrolling through screens, chasing schedules, drowning in worry, that they cannot pause long enough to notice the subtle movements of heaven. The portal could open right in front of them, yet they would not see because their focus is consumed by the temporary. Distraction blinds more effectively than darkness. The second reason is unbelief. Some have allowed disappointment to calcify into disbelief. They prayed once, twice, for years even. And when answers seemed delayed, their faith withered. Now, back when signs come, they dismiss them. They call them coincidences, chance, or imagination. But unbelief is not neutrality. It is resistance. It closes the eyes to what heaven is unveiling. When the portal opens, unbelief convinces them nothing is happening, and so they remain unmoved while others cross. The third reason is attachment to the past. The portal is a call forward, a summons into the new. But many cling to what is behind: old wounds, familiar identities, comfortable chains. Even pain can feel safe when you've lived with it long enough. But the portal will not carry what you refuse to release. Those who keep turning back, longing for what they lost, fail to see what stands before them. Their eyes are fixed on yesterday, and so they miss the doorway into tomorrow. Fear is another reason. The unknown terrifies the human heart. Even when the old season has been heavy and difficult, it is familiar. The new, though full of promise, feels as uncertain. Fear whispers, what if you step through and fail? What if nothing really changes? What if you're not ready? These questions paralyze many at the threshold. The portal is open, but fear keeps their feet planted in place. There is also spiritual numbness. When life is lived without prayer, without silence, without time in God's presence, the soul becomes dull. Sensitivity fades. The portal may open with signs, but a numb spirit cannot register them. It is like trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a roaring storm. Without cultivating intimacy with God, people simply cannot detect what He is doing. Chosen one. None of these reasons mean the portal is any less real. The 4th of September will not depend on whether people notice it or not. The portal is opening. But the difference between those who cross and those who don't will be their ability to see. And seeing requires readiness, sensitivity, and faith. So ask yourself now, will you be among those who let distraction, unbelief, fear, or attachment keep you blind? Or will you be among those who have prepared their spirit, who have stayed awake, who can recognize the holy invitation standing before them? This Thursday will be unforgettable, not because everyone will experience it, but because those who do will never be the same. And when others wonder why they missed it, your life will stand as testimony. I saw the portal, I crossed, and my story changed forever. What changes when you decide to step through? Chosen one, the moment you step through a prophetic portal, you are not simply walking into another room of your life. You are stepping into an entirely new atmosphere. The 4th of September will be unforgettable because it is not only about recognizing that the portal has opened, it is about the transformation that comes the moment you choose to enter. And make no mistake, crossing through changes everything. The first change happens within your identity. Until now, you may have defined yourself by the struggles you endured, the deserts you walked, the unanswered prayers, the delays that made you feel forgotten. But once you step through, those old labels no longer fit. You stop seeing yourself as the one waiting and begin to see yourself as the one chosen to receive. This shift in identity is not symbolic, it is real. You begin to walk, speak, and carry yourself differently because your soul finally knows, I crossed into the new. The second change is in the atmosphere of your mind. When you decide to step through, fear begins to lose its grip. The anxious questions that haunted you, will it ever happen? Am I truly seen? Will I fail again? Are silenced. Instead, clarity emerges. Ideas unflow with ease, hope rises naturally. Your mind becomes aligned with heaven's current, and suddenly, what felt impossible before now seemed inevitable. The portal does not just change circumstances, it rewires perspective. The body also responds to this crossing. Many feel an immediate release, a heaviness lifting, a peace that settles into their very bones, energy replacing exhaustion. Tears may flow without sadness attached, as if your body is releasing years of stored burdens. Others experience fancy rest, unlike anything before, waking with strength they didn't know they could have. This is not imagination. It is the physical manifestation of a spiritual shift. Your temple, your flesh, becomes a witness that something holy has taken place. Relationships shift too. When you step through, people who are tied to your old season often cannot walk with you into the new. Some drift away naturally while Others are removed by God's hand. At the same time, divine alignments emerge. Individuals who carry encouragement, wisdom, and connection appear, almost as if summoned. The portal does not only move you, it rearranges the circle around you to match the destiny on the other side. Externally, opportunities open. What were delayed is released. Resources flow in unexpected ways. Doors that seemed permanently closed swing wide. And yet, these external changes are not the true miracle. They are the fruit of the deeper transformation within. Because you chose to step through, heaven now entrusts you with visible evidence of what has already shifted in the unseen. But stepping through also brings responsibility. The portal is not an escape. It is an entrustment. It requires that you walk differently, think differently, live differently. To step through and live as if you never crossed would be to dishonor the gift. This is why some hesitate. They know crossing demands growth, maturity, and faith. But the reward far outweighs the cost, because life on the other side of the portal is abundance, not survival. Chosen one, this is why the 4th of September is so critical. Those who stand at the edge and refuse to enter will remain in cycles of waiting. But those who step through will find their entire reality transformed. Their identity will shift, their mind will clear, their body will testify, their relationships will align, and their path will unfold with favor. So I ask you now, will you cross? Will you allow God to carry you into a life that cannot be measured by the past? Will you accept the responsibility of living in the new, even when it means releasing what is familiar? This Thursday is not just an opening. It is a chance to rewrite your story. And for those who step through, nothing will ever be the same again. Chosen one, not every day becomes a marker in eternity. Most days pass quietly, blending into the rhythm of weeks and months. But there are rare days that heaven writes in bold, days that separate history into a clear before and after. The 4th of September is one of those days. This Thursday will not simply fade into memory. It will stand as an unforgettable marker of transformation, a testimony etched into your spirit that you will carry for the rest of your life. A marker is more than a memory. It is a stone of remembrance. Just as altars were built in ancient times, whenever God moved in undeniable ways, this Thursday will become an invisible altar in your soul. You will look back and say, "That was the day I crossed. That was the moment I was marked." And this remembrance will not weaken with time. It will strengthen you in seasons ahead. When doubt tries to creep in, when fear whispers again, when trials come, you will have this day as proof. I saw heaven move. I stepped through the portal. I cannot go back. The unforgettable nature of this Thursday comes from the signs that will accompany it. Some of you will feel it in your bodies, a weight lifted, an unexpected calm, tears flowing without sorrow, or energy flooding your being. Others will see it in your circumstances, doors unlocking, opportunities appearing, relationships aligning. Still others will dream dreams or receive visions so vivid that they will echo for years to come. Each of these is more than experience. They are divine imprints, reminders that this day was set apart. But what truly makes a day unforgettable is not the outward signs. It is the inward change. The 4th of September will mark the moment you stopped living, as though you were still waiting. and began living as one who has already crossed. It is the day when your identity shifts permanently, when you begin to carry yourself not as a beggar of promises, but as a bearer of fulfillment. That kind of transformation cannot be erased. This marker is not only for you, it is also for others. Those around you will notice the difference. They may not understand the language of portals or prophetic seasons, but they will see the fruit. They will recognize the peace in your eyes, the authority in your words, the steadiness in your steps. Your life itself will become the testimony that the 4th of September was no ordinary Thursday. And here lies the weight of this moment. Markers are not casual. They are turning points heaven intends to use again and again as proof of his faithfulness. Whenever you face resistance in the future, the Spirit will point you back to this day. Whenever you question your path, he will remind you of the portal you crossed. Whenever fear tempts you, he will call you to remember. You already stepped through. You already carry the mark. Chosen one, this Thursday will be unforgettable because it is not simply a day on a calendar. It is a covenant moment. Heaven will meet you at the threshold, and once you cross, the evidence will never leave you. Even years from now, you will look back and know September 4th was the day my life turned, and nothing has been the same since. So embrace it fully. Treat it not as ordinary, but as sacred. Live it with awareness, gratitude, and expectation. Because this Thursday will remain a marker not just in your story, but in eternity itself. Chosen one, the greatest danger after crossing a prophetic portal is not that it will close. It is that you will be tempted to turn around. The 4th of September is not opening just to give you a glimpse of what could be. It is calling you to remain in the new without ever looking back. This Thursday will be unforgettable because it will not only mark the moment you stepped into transformation, it will challenge you to anchor yourself there, to live in it, to refuse the pull of the past. Looking back is what has stolen breakthroughs from many before you. The Israelites longed for Egypt even after the Red Sea had split. Lot's wife turned back and lost her future in the process. The enemy knows he cannot close the portal, so instead he whispers, maybe the old was safer. Maybe the new won't last. Maybe you should go back. But you cannot. You must not. To look back is to dishonor the moment heaven wrote into eternity for you. Living in the new means making a daily choice. Each morning after September 4th, you will be asked, will you carry yourself as one who has crossed, or will you slip back into old patterns of thought and fear? To live in the new, you must think differently, speak differently, act differently. The portal did not open to decorate your story, it opened to redefine it. If you treat it as just an experience, you will lose the depth of what was given. If you embrace it as identity, you will never return to scarcity again. What does it mean to live without looking back? It means you do not let the voices of guilt, regret, or doubt dictate your steps. It means you release the people and situations that were tied to the old season, even if it hurts. It means you refuse to measure your future by the pain of your past. You walk forward, eyes fixed on the abundance ahead, trusting that every step is sustained by the same God who opened the portal. And hear this clearly, the evidence of the new will not vanish. Once you have crossed, your body, your spirit, your circumstances will testify again and again. When the enemy tries to convince you nothing changed, you will remember the peace that filled you, the clarity that came, the weight that lifted. You will point to this Thursday and say, "No, I crossed. I was marked. I am living in the new." That remembrance will become your shield. But living without looking back also means responsibility. You are not crossing just for yourself. Others are watching. Others will be awakened by the testimony of your life. If you keep living in the new, you will become a signpost for those who still stand in front of their own portals. You will prove that it is possible to step through and remain. That transformation is not a fleeting feeling, but a permanent reality. Chosen one, this is your call. Do not glance over your shoulder. Do not return to the familiar prisons of fear or doubt. The portal has carried you forward, and forward is the only direction now. Anchor your heart in gratitude. Guard your mind in faith. Walk with confidence in the God who wrote this day into your destiny long before you knew its significance. The 4th of September will forever be remembered not only as the day the portal opened, but as the day you chose to live in the new. And from this moment forward, you are no longer the same. You are sealed by transformation, defined by abundance, carried by grace. So let this be your declaration. I have crossed. I will not look back. I live in the new and I will remain here. This is the mark of September 4th. This is the testimony you will carry, and this is why this Thursday will never be forgotten.